Hey everyone, just want to see if we can get more people in real quick. All right, this. All right, I'm just trying to see if more people can get in here. Hey Jacob, how's it going? I'm just waiting for more people to show up. Gonna try to message some people. Um, if you can share this live stream, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. That helps try to get notifications because I know some people don't get notifications. I've been doing good, Jacob. All right, we got 3 people. Let's see if we can get some more real quick. I'm going to try to get everyone a chance to come in so they don't miss anything. I'm looking at some different stuff on this share thing. And I see the usual Twitter and Facebook, but they got this thing called WhatsApp. But yeah, I'm trying to get this. I guess message is only now for if I'm trying to do this, send this tweet in over the phone or something. Which, by the way, I do have my phone nearby. To, but yeah, if you're coming in, make sure you share, hit that like button. That helps. All right, today we got a lot of stuff. We're gonna talk about the Supreme Court. Yeah, that's gonna be the big one. We're gonna be talking about the Supreme Court. Um, yeah, that's the big one. We're gonna be talking about the Supreme Court. Hey, Eric. Also, if you want to come on in, I will also leave a link later on so you can make your own suggestions about some of the topics today. I mean, tonight. Well, depending on where you are. So, how's it going, Eric? Oh, make sure you share, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Share it through your social media, your emails. Um, Spread the word as much as possible. That helps. All right. I'm doing my part to try to share. Um, uh, and like I said, later on, I'm going to um, later on. I said later on, I'm going to um, send a link for you if y'all want to come in and talk about it. What you think about what's been going on. But we've got a few people, so let's just get started. Um, Before we get started with the big stuff, I do want to talk about um, Mohammed Noor. I think shout out to Mr. Mohammed Noor. Mohammed Noor was the cop who accidentally shot the white woman Justine Kuzanik, or some people call Justin. Let me show you right here. I'm gonna try to type it in. Um, Muhammad Noor. Hold on. So what I'm gonna do is um, all right. I got an image of him. Shoot, that's not the image I want though. I'll just use this one then. Um, all right, so I'm just gonna use this picture. But first, I need to get back to her and all right, so I can share the photo. All right, I'm back to where I needed to be. So yeah, share screen. So this is Muhammad Noor. This is Muhammad Noor. So he accidentally, you see, he actually apologized for accidentally shooting Justin Damon, and they wanted to make him suffer by giving him 12 years in jail. And remember, this is it happened in Minnesota. What also happened in Minnesota? Can anyone guess what also happened in Minnesota? Actually, there's a lot of things that happen in Minnesota. If y'all can write down the chat before, tell me what were some cases that happened in the state of Minnesota that involved with, and I'll give you a clue. They also involved with what Muhammad Noor was accused of. So, can anyone tell me what were some of the cases? What also happened in the state of Minnesota, in particularly near the Minneapolis area, that happened that Muhammad Noor got in trouble, and what others either got away with or also got in trouble? But if you're waiting for me to tell you, I'll tell y'all eventually. But I wanted to see if y'all in the audience, if there's anyone in the audience that can tell me what happened in the state of Minnesota that Muhammad Noor was also the same thing that Muhammad Noor went to jail for. Okay, I might as well tell you now. He was accused of being a cop killing an unarmed individual. The unarmed individual was a white woman by the name of Justine Kuzinek, or Justine Damon, because before she died, she was supposed to have been married to a man whose last name was named Diamond. I forgot who the fiance is, but his last name was Diamond. Her actual maiden name was Kuzinek, and she was from Australia. And Muhammad Noor got 12 years. When I met by what happened in Minnesota, Philando Castile got killed in Minnesota. What's it? Dante Wright got killed in Minnesota. And of course, the infamous George Floyd got killed. They were all murdered by cops. Philando Castile was really the only one who never got justice, or somewhat of justice. His killers got to go free. Meanwhile, Dante Wright, I think that was his name, and George Floyd, killer cops did get in trouble, but they some of their sentences were lackluster, but they still were found guilty. Yes, lots of police shootings, but that's what happened. But see, the difference between Muhammad Noor's and these other three cops was Muhammad Noor was a Somalian couple. Let's just face it, they see him as a black man. This goes to any immigrants of the Somalian community. This goes, to anyone in the Somali community. Remember, if you're not, just because your culture and your nationality is Somalian, your religion might be Muslim or even Christian for some, or mostly because I know they have a Islamic culture. I don't know. I have to ask someone who's actually part of that community because I don't want to get stuff wrong. But your racial identity, they see you as black. Please, for those in the Somalian community, they see you as black because Somalia is from Africa, which is a predominantly black continent. Regardless of what you say, they see your continent as a predominantly black continent or region. So that means they see you as black. They made sure Muhammad Noor suffered the worst punishment because he killed a white woman. And guess what? That's what the judges saw. They saw that they thought that he was treated unfair. So now they are vacating his cases, and he was recently released because they saw some unfair and biased treatment in his court case. And let's also remember, that's right, whether you are a black American, a black person from another country, whether you are a man or a woman or child who is racially identified as black, whether you're 100% black or are you part black, meaning you're biracial or multicultural, but you have black in you, whether you are a part of, whether you're heterosexual or part of the LGBT community, the anti-black racists in a race war and who are anti-black racists see you as that if you identify as black, if your racial description is black, meaning that is what you racially identify, and they definitely identify you as racial black when they look at your skin color. Your skin color, um, we know there's different tones of black, but your racial identity is classified as black. In a race war, the anti-black racists of any culture who are anti-black people see you as such. And like I said, it does not matter who you love, what's your gender, what country you come from, if you were born here, what politics, whether you're Republican or Democrat. In a race war, if you're black and you're and the person that's in front of you is anti-black or non-black and he's anti-black racist, he sees you or she sees you or it sees you as the enemy, and you have to see that person as the enemy, but only to protect yourself, because that person may try to hurt you or even worse. That's what happens in a race war. And that's what the Somalian community need to recognize what happened when it came to what happened with Muhammad Noor. You're a part of the black community, whether you like it or not. And that's why my channel believes in a black global diaspora. A global diaspora where black people of all regions, all genders, well, there's only two genders, but then the whole, you get the picture. But even then, if you're heterosexual, LGBT, if you're a Democrat, Republican, Independent, they see you as black, and it's time for black people of all black people to start uniting for the common goal of saving the black race, saving the black community, building up the black community, and protecting the black community from extinction. Because they wanted to make an example of Muhammad Noor because he killed a white woman. See, you're allowed, if you're a cop, you're allowed to kill black people because this system was created to kill black people. But if the minute you kill a white person, even if it was accident, even if you didn't mean to, you didn't see, you didn't know, you actually was just in fear of your life, but you didn't want to kill someone. And I believe Muhammad Noor tried to save the woman. See, he actually tried to save the woman. And like I said, it was by accident. He didn't purposely say, I did it because I wanted to do it. And he felt bad for what he did. He at least felt bad because he wasn't trying to kill innocent people. He was trying to protect himself and protect his community. They still threw him in jail because they still, but a cop, a white cop, a racist cop can purposely kill a black person, an unarmed black person for no reason at all. That black person, he or she gets away with it. But I'm kind of glad that Muhammad Noor gets to get away. And I know those anti-black racists were pissed that he got off because they wanted him to stay in jail and suffer. I know they were pissed when they heard about that. Um, Eric, if you want to come in, what I'm about to do, um, if I can find it. Oh, here it is. Um, if you want to come in, I'll leave you the link in the description box. I'm in the chat room. If you want to come on in, this is for anyone who happens to show up that wants to come on in. I hope I can find a way to get more people. Yeah, they don't really especially because my channel is smaller, they don't really give notifications. They did really. I know people with bigger channels also have this problem, but they really don't like to give notifications. There is something screwy with that algorithm. But yeah, anyone that wants to come in and shares your thoughts. Otherwise, I mean, even if I decide to go on that topic, I can go back on some of those topics later on, at least. But anyway, let's see if we can get on with the next topic. What was one of the other topics? Yeah. Oh yeah, let's talk about the agenda. Yeah, let's talk about the agenda. So I wanted to bring some stuff that's troubling. And I found this tweet and it goes to an article, but I'm only going to show what it's. I'm not going to show the full because I can't really find the article. But I wanted to show what this one guy named Farrell Jones exposed in just one simple tweet. And but we know about that agenda. Yeah, everyone talks about that agenda. You know, the alphabet agenda that they're trying to spread on agenda, trying to influence people to do that alphabet stuff. And then they're trying to, first of all, if you are part of that community, this is not me against you. If you want to love who you want to love, that's your choice. Just don't indoctrinate people and not tell their parents about it if they're children, and show them stuff that their parents are not ready to show their children. But you get members of that community that are so desperate. You get the Biden administration that want to deny school lunch programs to schools that don't let trans compete in sports. And then you get this situation where you had a drag queen charged with 24 counts of child pornography, yet they want to promote this agenda to our children. Okay, so I'm going to do a little conference again, actually. So can you play that music one more time? Yeah. Ready? Okay, you guys come over here. That's not a woman, ladies and gentlemen. That's not a woman. Like I said, if you live this lifestyle, go to an adult club, because remember, sexual orientations, the word sexual means something. That means it's involved with sex, which means you only should be talking about that stuff towards older people, not young kids at the age of 5 or 6 year old. They don't know better. All right, they're thinking about cartoons, but then you see that stuff that is being put in the cartoons. I'm not even gonna play this video. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that. But they're putting it in the cartoon, and that's why that Lightyear movie failed. The reason why that Lightyear movie failed was because no one wanted to see that stuff. No one wanted to see that stuff. They don't want to see you try to force it in our faces. And the people said we're rejecting it, and that's why Lightyear. Now, I'm not saying that there should never be representation of any kind, but I'm just saying. But then again, unfortunately, there are just some things you just can't show in children's cartoons. There are just certain characters you just can't show in children's cartoons. You just can't. You cannot doctrinate people. Also, notice that they only do it to certain communities. I'm going to see if I can share my screen again. So I'm going to bring it on. Let me see if I can. All right. Oh, and by the way, this is what that evil couple that killed all these kids. Yeah. They want to say that the Hall T, Hall L couples are safe for children, but yeah, tell that to them because these two people killed their kids. But yeah, notice that they're only trying to spread it on a certain community. Why? Because they don't want a certain community to procreate with women and have children. They want to feminize the black male because they want the black male to look feminized and weak and not attractive to women so that men cannot procreate and create more black children. They want to make the black man look feminized and weak. But you have people like Lil Nas X and Billy Porter willing to spread that propaganda. Oh, and by the way, I'm happy that Lil Nas X did not get a reward. He was undeserving of one. His music sucks, and he thinks that it's because he is Hall G. Even though BET gave him awards in the past, he acted very ungrateful and just attacked BET. I'm not defending BET because BET has been doing some shady stuff too, and some agenda stuff. I'm not happy with what BET has become, and it's all because they got bought by Viacom, now known as Paramount Global, and its debauchery. Yeah, it is. It is horrible. But yeah, still, Lil Nas X was one of these people that was trying to spread the agenda, and they're trying to spread it on our children because they don't want us to procreate. And why you think the Supreme Court, who I will talk about later, may start targeting the LGBT rights, because they know that if too many white people are also doing that LGBT stuff, because you can't have two men have a kid, make a kid. You can't genetically get two women to be together to make a kid genetically. So what's going to happen is they see too many of that happen in their community and they're not procreating. They're going to have to start. They're going to get rid of that, which we'll talk about in a few minutes or later on in this video. Yeah, let's talk about, speaking of the Supreme Court. Yeah, everyone is talking about the Supreme Court. Especially about you know what. Um, Hold on. Yeah, I just have a bunch of different blocks, but I'm trying to find the one that has all the stuff that I wanted to talk about. Oh, I think it was the same one. Oops. Sorry about that. Hey LB, what's up? There's a link in the chat room if you want to come on in. I just talked about the Mohammed Noor, and I talked about the agenda of how they continue to spread the agenda, where they're even telling schools that they will not help them with programs if they don't allow the agenda to happen in their schools. But right now, I'm about to show some photos and talk about the Supreme Court. Oops, sorry. Yeah, I think this is it right here. So yeah, everyone has been talking about this. This is protests from pro-abortion activists. They've been talking about, you know, abortion. So, as you know, the Supreme Court. Oh, okay. I understand, LB. Understand. I guess it'll just be me talking then. So, the Supreme Court had decided to overturn Roe v. Wade. Oh, and that's not the only rights that they recently just overturned. But we're going to talk about Roe v. Wade first because that's the big one that everyone is talking about. But that was what allowed abortion. So you're allowed to terminate your pregnancy anytime you want, especially if you're not ready to actually have a child, but you got pregnant anyway. And it could have been because you realize that you're not ready for pregnancy, and or because if you're a woman and the pregnancy is actually hurting your body to the point where it could be killing you, you have to um, get an abortion. Yes, it will cause that baby not to be alive, but well, that's according to the people who are supporting abortion. But then again, I'm not a woman, I'm a man. So I don't know too much about the woman's body, but they said that during pregnancy, uh, if you're a woman, your body might not be physically prepared to give birth. So that's why some women get abortions just to protect their health until their body is ready for childbirth. And then, of course, if they're not ready to give birth, but they were the victims of sexual assault and they're not ready to have a child. I'm not even going to say whether I'm for or against abortion here. Um, but for those who are for abortion, they say that abortions is because it protects their health from if their body is not capable or if they were the victims of sexual assault. Those who are against abortion say that it's murdering children and it's causing depopulation because there's been a birth rate situation going on, especially with the white community. So that's why the white community was really the ones who was trying to get the, the politicians and the courts to overturn Roe v. Wade, which was the case that led to Roe v. Wade. Someone named Jdawg took on a district attorney or a lawyer by the name of something Wade. I forgot what his name is, but his last name was Wade. And she said that she was raped and that she wasn't ready for childbirth because who she alleged was the rapist got her pregnant, um, and that's why the Supreme Court ruled in favor of Roe for abortion. But then the reason why the anti-abortion people said that no, you're just murdering babies. Now the real reason, however, the black community, the reason why a lot of people in the black community against abortion is because it turned out that the rape incident that happened to the woman that said was Jane Roe lied and said that it was a black man that did it. But the thing was, there was no black man involved. She lied on black men, and that's why a lot of black people are against abortion. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you a video if I can. Hold on. I'm going to try to find that video. And I'm going to show you why. Now, these are just photos of the different protests. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'll explain some of the stuff that I'm showing. But these are just some protests. Now, there's some twerking. Now, there's a lot of weird stuff. You even got people twerking at these protests. That shows you they're not serious with some of these protests. Now, this is someone saying that the black community did not want. There's like multiple videos I wanted to show, like at least two, and I'll talk about that one later. Well, I'm actually trying to find. That's just some of the activists, but I'm actually trying to find. Well, I'm gonna play this one first.
The right to it. All of a sudden, we were given this free thing from the Society of America, abortion. 78% of your free abortion clinics were placed in black and urban areas for the purpose of something free of charge from a racist society. As to put it in words of one fellow abortionist, we don't need so many Negroes anymore. There's no more cotton to pick. His feelings about black people, this was one way of doing it as a social benefit.
You see that? This is why black people don't want abortion in the black community, because a woman by the name of Margaret Sanger, that's not what I want to show. I'm trying to find it though. Sorry if I'm just switching. Oh, that's Clarence Thomas, by the way. We'll get to him, what's been happening to him, what has been said about him. But yeah, this woman right here, Margaret Sanger, she actually took advantage of bringing in Roe v. Wade. Bringing in abortion because she was a eugenist. She wanted to depopulate the black community. You even had people like Hillary Clinton saying that she was a hero and stuff like that. She's no hero. She wanted to exterminate black people. There's Clarence Thomas again. If you probably want to know why I've been showing Clarence Thomas, but there's actually another video I'm trying to find. That's Joe Biden. Now Joe Biden claims he's the reason why I just showed Biden is because he says he's trying to fight to help women get abortion back, but he's not really doing anything. In fact, he's appointing a judge who is actually anti-abortion. So I know the abortion supporters are angry at that. But to tell you the truth, deep down, he don't really believe in support. He just wanted their votes because technically, it turns out Biden is actually really against abortion, but he knew that was the only way to get some of the votes. Um, I'm trying to find in my Twitter feed. Um, um, oh, y'all remember this? Remember? Yeah, them protesters are going around my body, my choice. And yeah. So it's my body, my choice when you want an abortion, but you can't have that choice if you don't want to take no magic potions. And we all know what we mean by magic potions. Yeah. I'm trying to find that video. It's somewhere around here. Oh, right here. So we're going to show you this. Now, here's another reason why black people don't support abortion. All right.
Jane Roe's story was a terrible one. She said she had been gang raped, gotten pregnant, was desperate to get an abortion. That's what everyone believed, as long as Jane Roe remained anonymous. When she went public, she told a different story. You were raped while you were in Georgia? No, I wasn't. You were not?
This is Norman McCorvett, Jane Roe. Now, she said she lied about the rape. This is why she lied and said it was black people that gang raped her, and it turned out it was a lie. But let's continue on with this video.
No, I wasn't. So all those stories that are in the books and so forth are not true? Yes, yes. They're not true. Right. And it turned out that lying wasn't the only embarrassment this darling of the pro-choice forces presented.
That lawyer, hold on, let me go back real quick. That lawyer, this blue in the blue dress, that's Gloria Allred in her youth. Wait a minute, or no. Or someone, I forgot who that was, but or Lisa Brown, whatever. But yeah, Jane Roe was I don't know because then these people would yeah, these might be two different people, but Gloria Allred was the representative of Jane Roe when Roe v. Wade happened. I just want to also point that out. All right, we're gonna go back to this video.
It wasn't the only embarrassment this darling of the pro-choice forces presented. In her personal treatise published last year, Norma McCorvey told the story of her somewhat sordid life. Then she still adamantly supported abortion. Now she adds that to the list of sins she took with her into the baptismal pool. I've cheated people out of money. I've sold drugs. I was an abusive alcoholic for many years. I've done a lot against his teachings. But I think the far greater sin that I did was to be the plaintiff in Roe versus Wade.
Yeah, all right, you hear that? Yeah, because she's a religious woman, and abortion. Some of these religious groups are heavily against abortion. But yeah, like I said before, she lied on, on black people, saying that, and or people that she claimed was raping her. That's why a lot of black people don't support abortion. Now, I understand why some people do support abortion is because, like I said earlier, if a woman was raped and not healthy enough to have a child, I believe that That should be the only real reason, or a few reasons, why they need to have one is if your health is in danger, or you was a victim of rape and you're not ready, or your body is not healthy enough. So now, just having an abortion just for the fun of it, yeah, I don't believe in that. But then again, I'm also not gonna just stop people from doing what they want. Another reason why they overturn Roe v. Wade. Now, the reason why white people don't support abortion is because majority of women who do abortions is white women. White women. Hey, Miss Beautiful. Hey, if you want to come on in, there's a link in the chat room. If you want to come on in and discuss something, that'll be good. Um, if you just want to watch, that's okay too. Um, the reason why the white people are against abortion is because they believe in population numbers. Population numbers is important in the white community more than ever, is because their population numbers is going down. They are now in fear that by 2040, non-Hispanic descendants of slave owners and descendants of European colonists that came to America, their numbers would drop, which will force them to become the country's minority population. When you're the minority, you're at risk of losing a lot. If you don't have power, if you don't have political power or military power, and you're the minority, you become at risk an underclass. That means if elections were to happen, and even if a lot of you voted for the same thing, you may not have the votes to do whatever because the rest may vote against that and you'll be outnumbered. It will be hard for you to form an army. Unless, of course, you have good guerrilla warfare strategy, it may be hard for you to have a small group to take on a large army. Although we've seen every once in a while small armies, that you get the picture. That's why they train so hard with weapons and the woods and stuff like that. It's because they are afraid of being a small group instead of a big, large, predominant group, where you have a better chance of gaining more popular and more resources when there's a large number of you on the same agenda. They don't want other groups to surpass them in population numbers, even though technically that's already happened in some way. So, and they want women, the women of the white community, to have more babies, even if they have to use rape to force them to have children. Rape them to the point where they can get pregnant and doesn't care how they got pregnant, because the white, especially the anti-black white racists who don't want black people to surpass them in population numbers, their fear is having a small population, and even worse, on the brink of extinction. When a population is on the brink of extinction, they do whatever it takes to make more babies in their community or their population go extinct. They go aggressive, and they even go as far as to attack others to make sure their population numbers go down. That's basically take them with you. Since our population is going down, we'll send your population down. That's why they're spreading the agenda towards black people, so that they can use same-sex relationships to lower the numbers so that black people don't procreate. They murder black people. They try to use gender wars to divide black men and black women because the white community is suffering from some of the same stuff, gender wars and too many same-sex relationships and abortions. Hold on, Miss Vivo, I'm about to connect you. Uh, uh for some reason they said your device. All right, I'm about to add you to the stream. Hey, Miss Beautiful, what's up?
And nothing. Hold on, give me a sec. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I just checking, just checking. Let's see. Oh, where did my profile go? Profile pic go? Because I had one. Hold on. Since I'm using screen capture, but it's okay. Yeah. Okay. So,
Yeah, this is StreamYard. I'm using StreamYard, so you must be using something different.
okay. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I'm actually using StreamYard. I don't know why my profile pic isn't coming on, but it is what it is. But yeah, so what I think about but what you said was on point because this whole overturning Roe v. Wade is just just to get the white numbers up, and now that and also then what's funny is it's like now like you got these politicians, you got Maxine Waters talking about black people need to join in. All I gotta say is black people need to sit out the protests because this ain't our fight.
Not to mention, not to mention the reason why they want to say that black abortion is a black people situation and stuff like that. Because number one, they want our votes, and number two, they want you as black women to keep doing abortions to lower our numbers down. And number three, they want black people to save the country again, but yet they don't want to give us no reparations. I'll be like,
I,
I'll support your stuff. Well, not all of it, but maybe if you. The reason why some black people don't want to vote is because you're not giving black people the tangibles that we need to survive as a community.
yeah.
And then you try to bring all these groups in only to find out that some of these same groups believe in what the Republicans believe in. So they're voting for the Republicans still. And not to mention the Hispanic community. I just saw a video where they were yelling at Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi was doing everything bent over backwards to for the Hispanic community, and they still said it was not enough, and they still attacked her. They
Yeah,
attacked
that was
her.
freaking hilarious.
Yes.
I mean,
But
that's
yeah,
all it was. All they just had to do was just give what their voting constituents, well, the black vote, what's owed to them. I mean, like I said, all they had to do was just give tangibles. That's it. Just give
not,
the foundational Black Americans their reparations in cash, cut the check, and also an anti-black hate crime bill. That was it. But no, they thought, oh, we can find a new voting new vote, like you try to look for a replacement, but it's backfiring miserably, and they know they are fucked. They know they're in deep shit. I mean, excuse my French if I cuss, but yeah, but they know they're in trouble in the midterms. And oh yeah, and apparently, I was just talking to my friend about Biden, like, because he knows he's in trouble. Apparently, they said he's trying to give stimulus checks. I'm like, wait a minute, you want to now give stimulus checks after people have been evicted, after he removed that whole eviction moratorium. If I'm getting it wrong, but to help people from getting evicted. But now people are homeless and stuff, and the inflation. Nah, too late, dude.
yeah. Plus, you wanted to spend all that money on Ukraine. So I found out a lot of information about why he was really spending that money on the Ukraine, other than the fact that he just didn't want Russia to conquer their nation because America is not in friendly terms with Russia. And here's the thing: Russia is beating Ukraine right now. Hold on. All right. Oh,
Yes, yeah, I finally got it fixed. Yeah, I finally got my
yeah.
avatar fixed. I don't know what
All
was
right.
that about. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Russia is beating Ukraine, and I found out that some of the possible real reasons why Biden is so hungry and so desperate and trying to help Ukraine is because his ancestors is from Ukraine. His grandfather is from Ukraine. And then also remember the Republicans wanted to investigate his son Hunter Biden. Why? Because he was doing some business in Ukraine. Although I can't really say that they can't really, I'm not sure if they can really investigate Hunter Biden because I think Hunter did his stuff outside of Biden's job as president, whereas Trump, he, because Hunter, Joe Biden didn't put anyone in his family in the administration because he knows that will be a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
Yet Trump did. But yeah, but Hunter is allowed to do some international businesses if he's running a company, but still, yeah, the Bidens have business in Ukraine. So why do you think Biden is trying to save Ukraine? And then I was like, yeah, now it makes all sense because he knows that if Russia conquers and tries to bring Ukraine back into the Soviet Union,
Yeah.
whatever business the Bidens have in Ukraine is screwed,
Yeah.
which means they can't do business no more. Well, I don't think Ukraine is going to be heavily controlled by Russia. What's happening is Russia wants some territories from Ukraine where the people there speak Russia because they wanted to separate from Ukraine, and Ukraine said no, and they asked for Russia's help. That's what they're not telling you.
Yeah.
But still, Russia is kind of in the wrong as well because they invaded in a country that was not threatening
Yeah.
Russia.
Yeah, that's how I feel about the whole Ukraine and Russia situation, or as I like to refer it as Nazi Ukraine. Because I mean, to me,
Yeah,
it's just white on white crime, except in a full blown war.
yeah. Russia is what happened was U.S. was accused by Russia for backing a coup in Ukraine, where that OSUP group,
Yeah,
with the
the
Nazis.
yeah the modern day Nazis. Yep.
Yeah, that was that. So the reason why Zelensky is in office was because of that coup. However, there's territory in Ukraine that's Russian-speaking people. They didn't want to be part of that coup,
Yeah.
so they said we want to separate. This want to be our territory, and they said that the Ukrainian. This is according to what the Russians are saying. Um, the Ukrainian government and the OSUP people started messing with them, and that's what Russia claimed is one of the reasons why they invaded.
Yeah.
Although there could have been, but then again, I can care less about the Ukraine. But the thing was, back to Biden. Biden spent too much money on a country that America and on a situation that has nothing to do with America because Ukraine is not an ally of NATO.
Yeah.
They're not, but they're starting to try to get membership so that if this war continues, we would have to go in there, which will be a dangerous risk
Yeah.
because that could lead to World War III and
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
worse, a nuclear war that can destroy this planet. We already
I
have a climate change situation.
And what's funny, people were worried about like, oh, if 45 is in office, it would worry about he'll start a World War III. But the irony, you have to worry about the senile, like senile President Biden, who's getting involved in something we have no business of.
And
Yeah, I said the
also,
one. Oh, sorry. Continue.
oh, sorry. I didn't know if you was finished or not, but you can go ahead. I was going to say something about the Trump situation.
Yeah, you can go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, yeah. The thing is, at the same time, as much as they kept saying Trump is Putin's puppet and stuff like that. Now, yes, there may have been some things that Trump probably should not have been doing.
Exactly.
But then also at the same time, you want to you may want to work with Russia because the last thing you want to do is cause World War III.
Yeah, that's the
Maybe
funny. Yeah, I'm sorry, and that's the funny thing with Trump. Like like how he used to run us up. Everyone's like, "Hey, Trump, shut up, shut up." But when it came to Putin, he knew when to shut up. That's the funny thing.
yeah, I think what we probably didn't understand is Trump realized, and this is not me defending Trump,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Trump, and yes, Trump is an idiot, but also
Oh,
at the same time, Trump had to do something to prevent us from going into World War III with Russia. Now, how he done it should not have happened,
nope.
but that is better than Biden causing a conflict between two nations that could expand even worse and cause World War III and possibly the doom of an entire society. Because remember, we got 9 countries, Russia and us being one of them, have nuclear weapons.
Yeah,
And if one nuclear arm is shot, nuclear World War III, climate change situation still not being, which by the way, it is disappointing that the APA lost the ability to fight climate change. They that makes it worse, and it's also because of the Supreme Court. Actually, that's one of the other things I want to talk about what the Supreme Court was doing. Just talk about just now. World's going to be doomed. But anyway, yeah, now all of a sudden Biden wants to do the I didn't even know he was doing all this stuff. And I'm like, uh yeah, you're doing all this stuff now because you know that black people are angry and not gonna, or at least not a lot of them.
yeah.
Uh they think that you cheated, your party cheated Greg Marshall Dickens, which
Oh
by the
yeah,
way,
Marcel. Yeah, that was
yeah,
very.
Marcel. Yeah. Um I want to talk about that later on.
Yeah.
Um, and you think that this abortion thing is going to be the only, yeah, the abortion thing is, they saying that the abortion thing could be the only thing that can help Democrats now. But here's what's another problem. You agreed to appoint a federal circuit court judge that's anti-abortion. That's not going to help the pro-abortion people bring back Roe v. Wade and all that stuff. But like I said before, Biden is actually against abortion. He didn't want to put his beliefs on other people, so he knows that he's supposed to be the president of everybody. Um, yeah, but I think he secretly never wanted to help the Supreme Court get rid of abortion. It just he didn't want to be blamed for it. You know who they decided to blame?
Clarence Thomas.
Yes. And then, like I said, I just saw MSNBC bring back Anita Hill. I'm like, every time Clarence Thomas does something that the American public don't want him to do, like this, and all the other stuff that Supreme Court. This is despite the fact that you have 5 other judges that voted against Roe v. Wade. They want him to be the face because they want black men to be the face of everything bad.
Yeah, it's that same old white supremacist trope. Make the black man the boogeyman, even though they're not mad at the other four white Supreme Court judges. But go fucking figure.
But yeah, here's the thing: 3 of
That's
them
his no
actually
brainer.
lied an oath to get the job, and now they're thinking of impeaching them. They're also trying to impeach Thomas. But anyway, I'm like, and they said now he stupidly on his own said that he want to get rid of the LGBT rights too. Bad move, because now you're making heterosexual black men look even worse. by saying being the lone person, knowing how this country thinks of heterosexual black men, and you just gave them the LGBT community or weapon to really go against heterosexual black men because now they're saying that, okay, what if they go after interracial rights, Loving versus Virginia? You won't be married to your white wife anymore. You had Whoopi Goldberg, Samuel Jackson saying all that.
And all I gotta say is, like I said, they're trying to do everything just to scare black people into supporting them. But I was like, look, if all of this would have been all prevented, had, like I said, the Democratic Party gave tangibles in the very first place. I said, I know. I mean, even though we may not agree with it, would have supported them in some way or form. But hey, you know what? It is what it is. They can hold their own nuts. And like I said, the Alphabet Academy is going to say whatever pertaining to black people. Like it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. And like I said, and then, and then how people are reacting to Clarence Thomas. All those liberals are just showing their racist true colors. Especially they were spewing the N word using racial slurs. One woman tried to excuse saying, "I was pissed off." I'm like, look, I've been pissed off. I cuss like a sailor, but I mean, but I was like, but think of a racial slur would come out of my head. No, not even in my most pissed off moments. I
Yeah,
was like, their racist true colors came out, and this is another reason why I said black people. Nope.
and
Both parties are just two snakes in the grass
yeah.
left and right.
Oh yeah, and this is actually going to expose the liberals even more. See, what the liberals don't understand is they're actually going to expose black people to the overt, to the covert racism. So now, yeah, you just exposed the racism of the liberals. That's what the liberals don't understand is now you're exposing your racism. And I'm telling you, if they get rid of LGBT rights, they're going to expose the racism within the LGBT community. Just you watch.
I know, and it needs to be exposed. And this is something that Dave Chappelle was talking about and talking about. But I mean, like, especially in the stand-up comedy. But that's what he just said. But they try to twist it, like saying, "Oh, he's attacking." And I was like, no. Even his late best friend, who's part of the T Academy, named Daphne, which you saw his stand-up comedy, right? I forgot the latest one. What was it called? I forgot his most recent one. You saw
I
that, didn't
forgot it
you?
too, but I've actually seen it. But yeah,
Yeah,
he
like
said that his trans friend actually defended and they actually attacked her to the
exact
point that she
Daphne.
committed suicide.
Yeah, and that wasn't straight people that drove Daphne to suicide. It was her own toxic community,
Yep.
and
Oh,
that was
and this
very sad.
yes. Oh, and the community is mad at people who didn't go see the Lightyear movie. That
Well,
movie
the fuck.
flopped.
Well, I mean, excuse my French. If I cuss, I'm sorry. I'm just saying. I'm so done with them.
Yeah. Yeah, their movie flopped.
Good.
Yeah, they wanted to spread the agenda, and that's why some people are not going to go see Strange World when that comes. That's a new upcoming Disney movie. Oh, they already getting. I'm like, no one's going to watch this movie after the net. Nope.
Exactly. I mean, they're trying to spread this agenda. Do you hear there was an incident that happened in Dallas, Texas, where the Academy was doing that whole making a drag show family friendly. I was like, what? There was like that's and the Dallas police, which were like trying to like stop the kind of protesters saying like, hey, this is not for kids. They were trying to rationalize. People were like, it was a drag family friendly show. I was like, you making a drag family friendly show, that's like you trying to make a family friendly strip club.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
and by the way, I talked about earlier how Biden administration is causing children to starve because by not letting school programs feed kids because they won't let trans in sports teams.
So
Now,
basically, they don't want they want biological boys invading in biological girl spaces. That's. But you know, all I gotta say is to to the people who voted for Biden is this what the fuck you voted for?
all right. Yeah. Now, speaking of the Supreme Court, there was other rights that they rejected recently. The biggest one was the Miranda rights. The Miranda rights, of course, for those who don't know, is when they tell you you have the right to remain seated, silent. Anything you say will be against you in a court of law. If you have an don't have an attorney, we will provide you one, and stuff like that. All and they have to actually say that, because if they forget, that's a violation of your rights, and they can get in trouble and even get sued. However, that's what used to happen recently, and no one is talking about this, or at
Yeah,
least a few people. Um, they struck down Miranda rights.
and how funny, like, nope. Like, the same people who are protesting about the overturn of Roe v. Wade are the same ones are not raising hell about this, and they want black people to join their fight. I'm like, funny, you're raising hell about this, but which is crazy. But you're not raising hell about now they can't say your Miranda rights.
Yeah.
Hypocrisy.
Um, Yeah. And yeah, black people should be worried. A lot of people should be worried,
Yeah.
because that means is cops have the right to abuse. They're trying to turn this country to a fascist, authoritarian state. If Miranda rights disappear, that means the cops, if you try to say, hey, this is against my rights, they can actually use that against you, as you anything you say can use you in a court of law. And then you try to sue them, you can't really sue them, because now they
Um,
can use that as evidence in a court of law, and they don't have to even read your Miranda rights.
Yeah, just like this, isn't this the same Supreme Court that basically said by constitutional law, like police aren't there to protect, have the right to not protect you. So I mean, and then people, and also too the family, like what happened in Uvalde, Texas. They're kind of trying to use that type of excuse where they let those kids get murdered by gunmen, and while they had
Oh
all
yeah.
the
You
equipment.
know what? Yeah, let's bring that story up. Yeah, let's bring that story up.
All right.
As you know, Uvalde in Texas had that shooting where a killer by the name of Salvador Roman kills like a bunch of young elementary school kids and two teachers. For those of you who may not know, and the cops just stand there and did nothing.
Yeah.
And the police chief, he's in trouble. He's now suspended, but suspended with pay. The only people that did decide to do something was the Border Patrol, and get this, a woman who not only was trying to rescue her kids, but actually saved a few others. So, what happened was this woman went in and saved her kids. She was being stopped by the police, but she was trying to save her kids. She actually was doing stuff. They tried to arrest her, and they tried to throw it, but guess what? The charges were dropped.
And I know, yeah, and
Now,
actually they've been threatening her too. They even threatened to deport her.
oh yes, I found out that I believe. I didn't know she was an immigrant.
I mean, well,
Yeah,
I think she was born here, but they try to use that excuse. They try to like she said she had been getting threats, especially ever since she did her interview on national TV. Yeah,
yeah,
she has
because
been
she's
catching hell.
Hispanic, so they
Yeah.
probably going to try to blend her with some immigrants, even though she was born. Yeah, and stuff like that. But yeah, that's because there's been stuff coming out that they just sat there, and also you got to realize the firepower that the guy had, that was too expensive for him.
Yep.
So how did he get it? and they said that there was no nearby illegal gun deals that was going to sell him that. Someone gave him those weapons. I would not be surprised if it was someone from within the police department that
Yep.
gave him them weapons. Would not be surprised.
Yep, I won't be surprised. It's kind of like that Peyton Gendron situation where now got an FBI, a retired FBI agent that was helping Peyton get Gendron to get those type of guns and the military tactic.
Yeah, yeah. Remember that those guys were part of a racist group that hates black people. That's
Yeah,
happened. That was in Buffalo.
exactly.
So,
So,
oh, by the way, the Supreme Court struck down some gun control laws in states. So much for states' rights.
good.
So now some places can be open carry now. New York is one of them.
Well, that's a shocker because New York is one of the most strict gun state gun state law states.
Not anymore.
Well, damn. Well,
Yeah.
damn.
Um. Also, yeah. I want to get back into the Marcel. I know it's kind of old, but I just found out that Clyburn's daughter was in charge of the Democrat committee in South Carolina. I
Why?
hope that Marshall finds a way to get that the whoever that committee in South Carolina um investigated, because that is a conflict of interest. That is something else I wanted to talk about. Um why was Clyburn's daughter in charge during the time of the election of Jim Clyburn and Greg Marshall Dickens, knowing that that could be a conflict of interest? We were complaining about Ivanka and when it came to Trump, but we're not going to complain about Clyburn's daughter. And now that's why some people believe that was the real reason why Dickens lost his primary
Actually,
to,
it's Dixon. But I understand it's Dixon.
yeah,
But go on. Yeah, sorry.
yeah. So yeah, why? And because remember, this was also the same woman that wanted to be in the FCC, but that got turned down because Biden does not have enough votes in the Senate to get people approved. Because you actually have to have 60 votes. This is why they are pressuring Biden to get rid of help with the get rid of the filibuster, and he keeps saying no, no, no. I was like, well, this is why half of the stuff you want to get passed is not getting passed. Why do you need Phil? I thought it should be what it should be is whoever gets the most votes gets the most votes. A filibuster, all that does is you have to get a certain amount of votes. So even if you have the most votes, if it's not up a certain number, it still won't go through. You need to get rid of that stuff.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's indeed. I mean, I can't help but to agree more because every day they just keep showing their hypocrisy, and then also, and I don't know if you heard about what happened in the whole Marcel Dixon's in the election run. There was even people complaining about in some districts, in some counties, like they said, well, the people wanted to vote for Marcel. They saw the name of Clyburn and some other candidates they've never heard or seen, but they never even put down Marcel Dixon's name in the votes on purpose. There was complaints about that. So that when I saw that, I said, these bastards are really trying it.
Yes. Yes, yes, and that's why I'm continuing. That's why I'm bringing up the situation with Marcel Dixon. First of all, shout out to Marcel Dixon. He actually follows
Yep.
me on Twitter, and I
Oh,
also
nice.
follow his YouTube channel. Um, um, but yes, that is a conflict of interest. I hope eventually he can find a way to get that investigated. And I hope he runs again in 2024 because there was no way that that Clyburn's daughter, Jim Clyburn's daughter, should even be there in charge of anything because, like I said, that is a conflict of interest.
And I
All right.
wouldn't be, yeah, I wouldn't even be surprised she has something to do with it. Why all of a sudden Marcel's name didn't pop up in the who to vote for list? Because this was no accident.
Yes. And I also would not be surprised if there is voter fraud going on and that some of the votes they probably wanted to really make sure that he had low amount of votes. All right. Now, speaking of scandals, let's talk about um, Andrew Gillum. That's, or should I say, or what Toria Rain says, Andrew Phillum. Um, yes,
or as or as some would call him Andrew and Andrew Bussy Gillum.
yes. So apparently he's in trouble for fraud. So basically, he got in trouble for embezzling money in his own campaign, and some people helped him. And now he's trying. Now the judge said that he can wait a few days, so that it will give him enough time to get a new legal team to prepare for their upcoming case.
Hmm.
So yeah, and I gotta say is, man, Gillum is facing a lot of karma. The CNN show that he was supposed to be in got canceled, or they never went. And then you, of course, you had the hotel situation, and now they have this fraud thing. Let's this they want him gone,
Yep.
and oh, not to mention he lost his election.
Yep.
They did just have no use for him no more.
As Professor Black Truth said it best, white supremacists always break their tools.
Yep. All right. I'm actually glad you're here because I wanted to get through one more topic at least,
All
and
right.
it involves what I saw on Twitter recently.
Oh boy.
Um, yeah. Um, let's see. Here it is. Apparently, I understand that you are immigrant,
Yeah.
but it seems I don't know which immigrant group, but you get some people that are trying to make putting a petition that are saying that FBA and ADOS are hate groups.
Oh, uh, I think I remember seeing something like that, but oh god. I mean, this is how the. I mean, let me try not cause how in the world is a lineage that the lineage a hate group, right?
See, all we're doing as an FBA person myself, all we're trying to do is we're trying to get tangibles to help our community that is owed to us because of what has been done to us by this
Exactly.
evil country. And we want people from other countries that are black. We want Jamaica to get reparations from the British. We want
Exactly.
we want Ethiopia to get reparations from the Italians. We want
Exactly.
Zambia to get reparations from what the Germans did. We
Yeah.
want the Congo to get reparations for what Belgium did. We want South Africa to get reparations. We want Haiti to get reparations from what the French did.
Yeah. And also too, man, my home country was colonized by the Brits, even other some of the African countries that was colonized by the Brits, which kicked off this whole thing.
Yes. And we all we want is we want reparations from America
Yeah.
for what happened from chattel slavery, Jim
Yeah.
Crow, all the way to even the civil rights
Redlining.
movement.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
mean, like everything. I mean, that's the thing that really pisses me off, like as a black immigrant, because it's like, I was like, they're telling you, I said, FBAs are telling you what it is, like what it needs. But I mean, the reason why they're getting angry because you're not, I mean, I said the Foundation Black Americans are circling the wagons, and also too, they're finding out who's trying to undermine who's with us, who don't rock with us. And like I said, and they're like, "Oh, you're being divisive," but I was like, "Oh, it's funny. Where was that attitude when you know, like these tethers we're calling the FBA's Akadas, Jarias, Barrias, and all those nasty stuff." I mean, I've even had like I said, it's so like these tethers have been so pissed off with me, even like angry, like froth in the mouth, like thinking, "Why am I supporting FBAs?" In my head, I'm like, "So wait a minute. So since I'm a black immigrant, I'm automatically supposed to shit crap on FBAs?" And I ask them that question, they don't even give me an answer. They get angry instead. So it's
and
like, so wait a minute.
also I get mad at some FBAs that attack black immigrants when unjustly. Not to
Yeah,
mention, I want a global, and this is what Phil Scott wants. He wants a global diaspora, just like other communities.
yeah,
The Hispanics here, they don't just work with just the Hispanics in this country. They work with Hispanics from Central and South America. The
yeah,
Asians don't just work with the Asians here in America. They work with people from their homelands: Korea, Japan, China,
yeah,
Thailand, Vietnam, Taiwan, and stuff like that, because that helps bring more wealth, more resources, and
yeah,
helps with create a global system. Also, they can go back home in case something happens here, and the other way around.
yeah,
That's what we want in the black community: a
yeah,
global diaspora,
yeah.
unite
But only,
people. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. But I mean, the only problem is like I said, my community is like there's too many buck dancing cells. I mean, it's funny. Like I even saw a conversation. This was interesting. That you had some of these tethers who they will fine when FBA's call out their buck dancing sellouts, their Uncle Ruckuses. But when it comes to calling out, non FBA's, the tethers, the Uncle Ruckuses in their community, they get all mad saying like, "Hey, why you got?" I was like, "Wait a minute, no, no, no." I said, you gotta go with who rides with us, who don't ride with us. Those who are buck dancing, no, they need to be called out, whether you're FBA or non-FBA. Like I mean, at least with I mean, with the FBAs, y'all actually called out your sellers. But for some reason, like I said, I don't know what it is. I mean, I know it's not all, but some out there they're kind of like too scared to call out the sellouts within FBAs, which it's sad.
yes. And then also, the black immigrants got to realize is that these immigration policies don't benefit you either. They're only meant to benefit non-black immigrants, the Ukrainians, the
Yeah,
Mexicans,
and actually,
the
it's so funny.
yes,
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I just had my phone ringing. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, I mean, just continue. I had a phone call. Yeah, ringing. So you were saying?
yeah. When they talk about that 11,000, they don't mean black immigrants. Biden recently deported so many black immigrants in the past few weeks. Remember, your majority of the deportations, recent deportations, have been black immigrants. That's telling you, and the reason why your sector of the immigrant community has been deported the most is because there was a study that says that by 2065 there is a possibility that black immigrants could um dominate in population numbers, and that your sector of the immigrant community is actually growing and can grow even big by 2065, and that's why they've been heavily deporting your group the most.
I'm not surprised. Sadly, that wouldn't surprise me at all. That was
Yeah,
the case, but for some reason, with some tethers, it's not clicking. clicking in their heads that they don't like you too. So
Yes.
just siding with them and thinking crapping on FBAs is going to help you. I'm like,
Yeah.
big
And
mistake.
remember what happened to Patrick. They just recently detained the officer that killed Patrick. What was his last name again? I forgot.
All right. Yeah, hold
Yeah,
on.
Patrick Loya or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, and I told in I think earlier in the video when I was talking about the situation. You probably wasn't here, but I earlier talked about Muhammad Noor getting released. He's part of some. He's part of the Somalian immigrants, um, or Somalians that are firstborn generations. I said to if anyone from the Somali community was listening, because your group is from Africa, you're classified as black if you are non-white, and that they don't like anyone. Yeah, your country, your native country is Somalia. You may be your ethnicity, it may be African, Hispanic. Well, well, if you was a black Hispanic, your ethnicity would have been Hispanic. But Hispanic is not a race either; it's ethnicity. I said earlier that your race is what is identified in this country. They identify people by race. And according to your skin tone, you would be labeled racially as a black person here in America because this is a multi race country. And in a race war, if the person in front of you, whether man, woman, trans, whatever that person wants to be identified as by gender, if he or it is or she is anti-black, he sees you as the enemy. And it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, if you're black. If your skin color is black, if you racially identify as black, you could be a politician, you're politically lean to the left or right. You may be LGBT, heterosexual, man, woman, child. Um, if you racially identify as black in a race war, you're an enemy to non-blacks and anti-black racists. That's what I said during when I was talking about Muhammad Noor earlier. Okay, Miss Beautiful must have left, but I want to thank her. Oh, but I do want to thank her for coming over. I didn't know she left. I'm about to stop the screen here. Um, Make sure y'all subscribe to Miss Beautiful, though. She has her own YouTube channel. I'll do her a favor and leave a link in the description box and comment section, maybe in this chat room, real quick. Um, but yeah, subscribe to her channel. I want to thank her for showing up. I want to thank y'all from coming over. If you're just coming in for some reason and you missed the whole thing, but you want to see it, you'll probably get to see the reruns later on whenever that shows up. I believe that's all the topics I wanted to talk about in tonight's live stream. I want to thank for those who did come. Thank you for coming. Hopefully I'll get to do another live stream in the near future where we'll talk about more topics. I'm about to do some other stuff, maybe record some more videos to upload later on, and possibly, or just get ready for other things for tomorrow or other days. But thank you for coming. I'm about to end this stream for now. Um, this is Jdawg. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I want to know in the chat room or the comment section what you think. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and hit that notification bell. I have links to my different accounts for you to follow me on YouTube, um, um, Twitter, Black Junction, etc. And also, I want to thank my Miss Beautiful for coming in. Subscribe to her channel. You can either try to go in through by going to her thing in the chat room, or I'll leave a link in the description box and comment section to her channel as well for you to subscribe to her. That's out of the fairness because she was willing to come over, so I'm gonna be fair and get people to subscribe to her channel. But that's all I have to say for now. This is Jdawg. Thank you for watching, and I hope to catch y'all in either another video or live stream. Peace, everyone.